National Philanthropy Day is an annual event held to honor, recognize, and say thank you to those who contribute their time, talents, and financial support to Edmonton and area's philanthropic organizations. Each year, we share stories of outstanding generosity across our community.
I believe that it doesn't matter how old you are because you're never too young or too old to raise money. And it doesn't matter how much you make, you're still making a difference in these people's lives.
Giving back to the community in different ways, whether it's your monetary or whether your contribution of time, it's extremely important to make that system better for the next generation. You should do whatever best you can, and that's all is expected.
Growing philanthropists in this city is really important to me. You know, my ideal goal is that of the 350 kids that have participated in Lemonade Stand Day this year, you know, even if half of them come out of it knowing that their whole life, they don't have to do something big to give back.
If you have a fire in your heart to help people, just go ahead, and you might make mistakes. That's okay. It's only if you fall and don't get up that you fail. So carry on and find ways, and it doesn't have to be big, because when you start small, you never know how big you will get.
When those students come through here and they see that this was a family that gave and created this, it reminds them that, you know, they have an obligation. At a certain point when they are successful, they will look at this and go, we need to be philanthropic because we got the benefit from somebody else that was philanthropic.
He'll stop at nothing, and that's really what's inspiring to us.
When you see those kids, how excited they are, and it makes you feel like it's every bit of energy that you put in was worth it.
AFP Edmonton and Area welcomes you to the 2020 National Philanthropy Day Awards, presented by Johnson Insurance.
Good morning, folks. Thank you for joining us for today's event from across the country. Welcome to the 22nd Annual National Philanthropy Day celebration event hosted by the Edmonton and Area chapter of the Association of Fundraising Professionals and proudly presented by Johnson Insurance. My name is Kelly Hoskins. I'm the president-elect of our chapter and the director of resource development at Bissell Center here in Edmonton. I'm honored to begin today's event by acknowledging that we meet today on the traditional land of Treaty 6 territory, a welcoming place for peoples from around the world. This is the land of many diverse Indigenous peoples whose ancestors' footsteps have marked this territory for centuries, such as Cree, Dene, Saulteaux, Blackfoot, Nakota Sioux, Ojibwe, as well as Métis and Inuit, and now settlers from around the world. The Association of Fundraising Professionals is dedicated to ensuring that the peace and friendship spirit of Treaty 6 is honored and respected. AFP is committed to the principles of inclusion, diversity, equity, and access in the fundraising profession, the philanthropic sector, and throughout all of society. Now it is my honor to introduce the president of the AFP Edmonton and Area Chapter, Sabrina Ali.
Thank you for the introduction, Kelly. I can't believe this day has arrived after months of planning. I think we're on to Plan G, maybe J now. I want to thank our board of directors and committee volunteers who have worked tirelessly to make this event such a success. The National Philanthropy Day Committee began planning the event in February with lots of great ideas for over 700 of us to gather together at our annual luncheon to celebrate this year's award recipients. Even though we aren't able to gather together today, this year we are celebrating the spirit of National Philanthropy Day. I've had the absolute pleasure of working in the philanthropic sector for many years, and I'm always amazed by this event. Every year, the stories are more inspirational, and I'd like to thank all of our nominators for continuing to support the event. We have over 83 inspirational stories from individuals and businesses throughout Northern Alberta. As president of the AFP Edmonton Area Chapter, I feel honored and delighted to be able to celebrate philanthropy in Edmonton virtually with all of you today. The Association of Fundraising Professionals, AFP, represents more than 31,000 members in 240 chapters throughout the world. Each chapter works towards advancing philanthropy through advocacy, research, education, and certification programs. AFP has inspired global change and supported efforts that have generated over $1 trillion. AFP's individual and member organizations have raised over $115 billion annually. In Edmonton, we have a very active chapter with members from all over central and northern Alberta. We provide funding for professional development, communicate with our members and partners via our website, email, and various social media platforms, ensuring that everyone has information about upcoming educational and networking events. National Philanthropy Day is the largest event our chapter hosts each year. The purpose of National Philanthropy Day is to recognize the great contributions of philanthropy, to celebrate those people active in the philanthropic community, which leads to the enrichment of our world. Thank you to all the award recipients who have joined us today. Your support ensures our ongoing success of our organizations. With your support, we are able to offer educational programs to students in inner city schools, to fund life-saving technologies, and to provide vital services to people in need, and so much more. Our event program is filled with stories of over 83 inspirational individuals and businesses that are being honored this afternoon. Please take a read through each of the stories and the impact they have on our community. Thank you to the fundraisers that are joining us today. Without your dedication, passion, creativity, and ability to pivot this year, our families, friends, and neighbors would not have access to the services your organizations provide for our community. Enjoy the rest of the program and keep the momentum of National Philanthropy Day going by sharing stories of philanthropy in our community throughout the year. To continue inspiring and motivating others to do good in our world, please use our event hashtag NPDYEG and tag AFP Edmonton on your posts about the event. And next year, we'll be marking the 25th anniversary of our chapter, and I really look forward to celebrating with all of you. Thank you. And now it is my honor to introduce His Worship, Mayor Don Iveson.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here to help celebrate National Philanthropy Day here in Edmonton. And while we can't celebrate in person this year, I'm so pleased to know that even while navigating COVID-19, our city still has such a large and outstanding group of volunteers and organizers. You know, behind every festival, gala, a non-for-profit organization, community league, and sporting event, there's always an enthusiastic group of organizers, volunteers, and sponsors working to make magic happen in that special Edmonton way. But even now, with COVID-19 taking its toll on our city, people are continuing to do what they can, particularly to help the less fortunate in our community. From food bank donations to bringing blankets and flats of water to the many agencies working with our vulnerable people, each contribution makes a huge difference to the lives of our fellow Edmontonians. And without the work of people like you, who facilitate connections to donors and put contributions to good use, that generosity of spirit might go to waste. And so I want to thank each of today's nominees, whether you contribute financially or with your time or have chosen to make a career in this field. Each of you has given so much to our city, and it's committed people like you who create real change in our community. So I know this work often goes underappreciated, so please know how grateful the City of Edmonton is for all of your efforts. And now I'd like to offer the following proclamation. Whereas philanthropy has a profound and positive impact on society, supporting the health and well-being of individuals, families, and entire communities, and whereas by addressing challenges such as social justice, homelessness, and domestic violence, philanthropic efforts strengthen our city. And whereas National Philanthropy Day is an opportunity to recognize Edmontonians who generously contribute their time, talent, and financial support to our city's charitable organizations. And whereas the City of Edmonton celebrates the contributions of individuals and organizations who seek to have a lasting, positive impact on our community, therefore I, Mayor Don Iveson, do hereby proclaim November 19th, 2020, Philanthropy Day in Edmonton, Alberta's capital city.
Thank you, Mayor Iveson, for bringing greetings from the City of Edmonton and for proclaiming today National Philanthropy Day in Edmonton. My name is Andrea Koplich, one of the co-chairs of National Philanthropy Day event, and my partner in crime, co-chair of NPD, creative collaborator, dear friend, Corey Fortner is here with me today to honor all of our award recipients and the generosity of our community. This has been a constant year of shifting in so many aspects of our lives. One of the things that has remained constant is the amazing generosity of our community. To celebrate that generosity, Nisha Patel, an award-winning Indo-Canadian poet, artist, public speaker, and current poet laureate for the City of Edmonton, has crafted a poem to showcase that generosity and our great community.
What keeps me up at night is the fear of failure, the propensity for doubt that burrows into my bones, heavy with ache and longing. It is the fear that those I love will lose their time before I can see them again, lose their jobs or lungs or roofs, siblings or friends, and call out to me when they need it most. I used to think that success made you untouchable, that you could build an empire of yourself, make yourself monument all alone. But the closer I get to halftime and game's end, the more I realize that I'm wrong. Because we're built for hands in hands, hair braided and interwoven across backs, arms in arms over hips, straining to step forward. We're built for the labor of laboring for good, for filling in capitalism's gaps, holding up those who need it most. And in the wake-a-thons and walk-a-thons and marathons, the 5Ks and the skip ropes and the chocolate almonds, we're most likely to see each other as we are. Lovers of lovers, mutual aid and aided hearts, no one left behind. Some days I can't sleep, and it's for the chance at a better tomorrow. Is it worth it to give yourself to something larger than you could ever be on your own? To share what you have in excess, and even that which you don't, and see it fuel a dream or a lifetime, a successful day breathed out once more. Libraries prep meals for children home from school, while maker spaces seed ideas and slumbering minds for new growth. Newcomers share the language and the nod, the gesture as friends are born of the seasoned fruit, and old landkeepers' tales. Across borders, inmates get their vote back once more, while teens take to the streets to bail their mentors out for freedom's cause. And through it, those who give know that giving without take is human nature, has been the way through battle and storm, across palms lines and starflight and sunsets on cold frost. We need each other to share warmth when the chill comes. For giving to each other has always been the way to come home. These days, I am an everyday philanthropist. I keep nothing and everything close to chest, wear my time thin, give until only the sun can wake me, sleep soundly with the thoughts of reaching for those around me, touching light, offering ear and back so we reach the end. A fish in a school, humanity a sea or an ocean's depth. The people are more a solution than we've ever been the cause. When we move step for step, this I know to be true. Somewhere in a cold room, the lonely heart beats, until the footsteps down the hall ask it to open palms. My hand offers a paintbrush, a safe home, an invocation, a new hope, that tomorrow each of us face the day together.
Thank you, Nisha. That was beautiful. A really beautiful tribute to the power of giving as inspired by our community. As you all know, each year for the last 21 years, AFP Edmonton and area has hosted a National Philanthropy Day event, and we hung on to hope for as long as we could that we'd be able to gather in person to thank each and every award recipient. We had a plan A, we had a plan B, C, D, E. I don't even know what iteration this is anymore. But we came to the conclusion that we wanted to find a way to say every name, to celebrate every story, and to call each person to stage in a new way. And so rose the idea of celebrating 20 weeks of philanthropy for 2020.
Each year, we've been asked to tell more stories. So, in fact, we found a way to meet that request. We are so pleased to work with an incredible communications team. They will be your masters of ceremony, your stage directors for the next few months, calling each award recipient to the public stages of our social media and website, sharing every story. We want to take this opportunity to say thank you to all of them, to Candace, Caitlin, Michelle, and Ellen, for meeting this new challenge with enthusiasm and support. You can watch the stage of National Philanthropy Day 2020 by tuning into our social media channels and our website. You will also catch reminders on Global TV over the next several weeks, and you may even catch a glimpse of your own story.
Another change that 2020 brought us was the shift from our Flash philanthropy. We typically have a single charity benefit from Flash. This year, in recognition of the hard work our members are doing with each of their charities and the challenges each member's had to face in 2020, AFP Edmonton and area chapter has opened up the opportunity for fundraising professionals to win 6 scholarships to support and enhance your work and your career. Please look for this information at afpedmonton.ca. Thank you to the AFP Edmonton and surrounding area board for making the decision to support our fellow fundraisers. Together, we will build the supports for our members and industry needs to succeed. And now, we would like to share with you the guests of honor, the people that we are here to celebrate, our award recipients, who have given their time, talent, and treasure to make our communities and organizations stronger and healthier. We present National Philanthropy Day 2020 award recipients.
The arts and culture sector recognizes people, companies, and groups who have impacted the arts and culture community through acts of charity and in giving of their time, talent, and resources. Our award recipients for 2020 include EPCOR, Syncrude Canada, the community enrichment sector recognizes people, companies, and groups who have engaged in acts of charity and in giving of their time, talent, and resources to help organizations build capacity and provide support, empowering those around us and bringing added value to our community. Our award recipients for 2020 include Avery McNary, Central Sewing West End Volunteer Group, Dick and Carol Wilson, Eric and Kathy Newell, Frank Vanderbleek, Jem Cabnets, Gloria Spooner, IKEA Edmonton, Jeananne Cathal Kerwin, Kathy and Peter Kowalalik, Rotary Club of Edmonton South, Sarah Chan, Sherry and Andy Bannock, St. Francis Xavier High School, the Home Depot Canada, the Lowe family. The education sector recognizes people, companies, and groups who have engaged in acts of charity and in giving of their time, talent, and resources to improve the overall level of education and knowledge of our community. Our award recipients for 2020 include Denton's, Dr. Yvonne Hernandez, Dr. Eric Newell, Hillcrest School, Grade 9, Hockey Helps Kids Group, Orest Myroon, Peter and Ellen Campbell, Rupert's Land Institute, TD Bank Group, Ukrainian Foundation for College Education, University of Alberta MD Class of 1969, University of Alberta MD Class of 2018, The environment sector recognizes people, companies, and groups who have engaged in acts of charity and in giving of their time, talent, and resources to better our environment. Our award recipients for 2020 include College Hunks Hauling Junk and Moving, Megan Lukian, Mark Tempest, the health sector recognizes people, companies, and groups who have engaged in acts of charity and in giving of their time, talent, and resources to better their community and the health of others. Our award recipients for 2020 include ATB Financial, CareRx, Cargill, Courage Gala Committee 2020, International Mascot Corporation, Ion Print Solutions, James and Tamar Richer, Marshall Liak, Martin Deerline, Megan Keong and Peter Clark, Nancy Luckfasol, Nicole Moores and Talitha's Hope for a Cure, Patricia Ann Pete, Riza and Sylvia Nazari, Richard Kirby and the Summit for Stollery, Sherlock Holmes Hospitality Group, Spinal Cord Injury Treatment Center Care Society, the Broderick family and Trail Appliances, the Garrity family, the William and Florence Leddy Family Foundation, and the Cliff Leddy Family Charitable Foundation. The social services sector recognizes people, companies, and groups who have engaged in acts of charity and in giving of their time, talent, and resources to ensure that the immediate needs of vulnerable populations within our community are being met. Our award recipients for 2020 include Accurate Network Services, Butler Family Foundation, Center High Campus, Shandos, Colin and Janelle Bruce, David Benjestorf, Drive Happiness Volunteers, Edmonton and District Council of Churches, First Responders Rodeo Association, Food Bank Annex Depot Volunteers, General President's Maintenance Committee and National Maintenance Council for Canada, Gifts of Hope Committee, Government of Canada Emergency Community Support Fund, United Way Capital Region, United Way Alberta Northwest, and United Way Central Alberta. Guy West, Jane Squire Howden and Don Howden, Larry and Janet Anderson, Ledcor Group, Ogilvy LLP, President's Choice Children's Charity, Ruke Okame, Diana Sawilla, and Tim Adams, Free Food Programs Team at Free Footy, Sonia Salomon, Stollery Charitable Foundation, the Air Mattress Guys, the Dungarees, the Realtors Community Foundation, the Saher Family, the Stollery Charitable Foundation, YEG Tech Cares, the youth sector recognizes youth and youth groups under the age of 23 who have engaged in acts of charity in giving of their time and talent to better our community and who, by example, encourage other youth to create or join in philanthropic activities. Our award recipients for 2020 include Aliyah Sevigny Tabaz, Sweetgrass Elementary. Congratulations to all of our award recipients.
What a year. amazing stories. We can't wait for you to hear all about these people and the work that they've done in detail. Before we close, there are many people that we have to thank for stepping up and helping us to cross the finish line this year. The patience and perseverance of people like Ivan Tolentino at Johnson Insurance, our steadfast and enthusiastic presenting sponsor. Aaron and Mark at Studio Post, always so patient, and really a cornerstone of this event every year. Justin and the team at Invert 720 for brainstorming with us, for welcoming us to this studio and sticking by us through the 11th hour. Tyson and Cheryl at Burke Group for their great contributions, to each sponsor who stepped up to help us in a year of challenges. Our education sponsor, EPCOR, so amazing. Our social services sector sponsor, Capital Power, so appreciated. Thank you to Global TV for the media work, to Wright Labs for the nomination process support, to Pounce Support Services, Vitreo, and Global Philanthropic for coming together as our print and design sponsors. We can't thank you enough for stepping up to the plate with us. We needed you, and you were there for us.
Thank you also to our board at AFP, Heather, our administrative staff, and especially to our volunteers. Honestly, our committee, they have been an absolute wonder this year. Thank you to each and every one of you. Our story editors, our photo and video organizers, framing team, our sponsorship team, and every person that hung in there and helped us brainstorm plans A through E and every change, and even beyond. Special mention to Stacy, Lauren, Laura, Janine, for your efforts, to Kim, the master of the printed program, to our leadership team, Kelly and Sabrina. We are grateful for your guidance, your support, and the work you did to make all of this happen. All of you, we are truly grateful for each and every one of you, the time you spent, the ideas you shared, and basically the support you graced us with. Thank you.
And to really close the show, we must once again say thank you to each nominator for being the reason that this event happens. Your work, fundraising, and stewarding donors is the core of this. Thank you for the work you do and for nominating these amazing philanthropists for what they do. Thank you to each award recipient. We hope that you feel our gratitude. We hope that you feel recognized. You make our world a better place. We are grateful to you for every contribution. Celebrate with us over the next 20 weeks. May each story bring you joy, inspiration, and hope. May the year ahead be brighter. We wish you all good things and continued success in your work and your commitment to our communities. Thank you.
National Philanthropy Day by the Association of Fundraising Professionals is celebrating 20 weeks of philanthropy from 2020. To recognize generous giving in our city, we've dedicated 20 weeks to honor all of this year's nominations. Because every contribution makes our community stronger, we celebrate all the ways you have enriched our community. Discover these inspiring stories at afpedmonton.ca.